Práctica diaria de inglés. Escucha, habla y mejora tus habilidades. Al terminar, practica más en nuestra app. Gratis. Link abajo. Comienza a practicar.
I have an exam today. I have an exam today.
Tengo un examen hoy.
I have an exam today. I have an exam today. I woke up early for the exam. I woke up early for the exam.
Me desperté temprano para el examen.
I woke up early for the exam. I woke up early for the exam. I am feeling nervous. I am feeling nervous.
Me siento nervioso.
I am feeling nervous. I am feeling nervous. I studied all night. I studied all night.
Estudié toda la noche.
I studied all night. I studied all night. I packed my bag. I packed my bag.
Hice la mochila.
I packed my bag. I packed my bag. I checked my supplies. I checked my supplies.
Revisé mis materiales.
I checked my supplies. I checked my supplies. I brought 2 pencils. I brought 2 pencils.
Llevé 2 lápices.
I brought 2 pencils. I brought 2 pencils. I have an eraser. I have an eraser.
Tengo una goma de borrar.
I have an eraser. I have an eraser. I need my ID card. I need my ID card.
Necesito mi carné de identidad.
I need my ID card. I need my ID card. I left home on time. I left home on time.
Salí de casa a tiempo.
I left home on time. I left home on time. I arrived at school early. I arrived at school early.
Llegué temprano al colegio.
I arrived at school early. I arrived at school early. The exam starts at 9 a.m. The exam starts at 9 a.m.
El examen empieza a las 9 de la mañana.
The exam starts at 9 a.m. The exam starts at 9 a.m. I found my classroom. I found my classroom.
Encontré mi aula.
I found my classroom. I found my classroom. I greeted my teacher. I greeted my teacher.
Saludé a mi profesor.
I greeted my teacher. I greeted my teacher. I said hello to my friends. I said hello to my friends.
Saludé a mis amigos.
I said hello to my friends. I said hello to my friends. Everyone looks serious. Everyone looks serious.
Todos parecen serios.
Everyone looks serious. Everyone looks serious. We are waiting outside. We are waiting outside.
Estamos esperando fuera.
We are waiting outside. We are waiting outside. The bell rang. The bell rang.
Sonó el timbre.
The bell rang. The bell rang. We entered the room. We entered the room.
Entramos en el aula.
We entered the room. We entered the room. We sat in rows. We sat in rows.
Nos sentamos en filas.
We sat in rows. We sat in rows. The teacher gave instructions. The teacher gave instructions.
El profesor dio instrucciones.
The teacher gave instructions. The teacher gave instructions. We must be quiet. We must be quiet.
Debemos estar en silencio.
We must be quiet. We must be quiet. No talking is allowed. No talking is allowed.
No se permite hablar.
No talking is allowed. No talking is allowed. We cannot use phones. We cannot use phones.
No podemos usar el móvil.
We cannot use phones. We cannot use phones. I turned off my phone. I turned off my phone.
Apagué mi móvil.
I turned off my phone. I turned off my phone. The teacher handed out papers. The teacher handed out papers.
El profesor repartió los exámenes.
The teacher handed out papers. The teacher handed out papers. I wrote my name. I wrote my name.
Escribí mi nombre.
I wrote my name. I wrote my name. I checked the questions. I checked the questions.
Revisé las preguntas.
I checked the questions. I checked the questions. I started with the easy ones. I started with the easy ones.
Empecé por las fáciles.
I started with the easy ones. I started with the easy ones. I read each question twice. I read each question twice.
Leí cada pregunta 2 veces.
I read each question twice. I read each question twice. I wrote my answers carefully. I wrote my answers carefully.
Escribí mis respuestas con cuidado.
I wrote my answers carefully. I wrote my answers carefully. I watched the time. I watched the time.
Miré la hora.
I watched the time. I watched the time. I skipped a hard question. I skipped a hard question.
Salté una pregunta difícil.
I skipped a hard question. I skipped a hard question. I went back to it later. I went back to it later.
Volví a ella más tarde.
I went back to it later. I went back to it later. I used my eraser once. I used my eraser once.
Usé la goma una vez.
I used my eraser once. I used my eraser once. My pencil broke. My pencil broke.
Se me rompió el lápiz.
My pencil broke. My pencil broke. I sharpened it quietly. I sharpened it quietly.
Lo afilé en silencio.
I sharpened it quietly. I sharpened it quietly. I stayed calm. I stayed calm.
Me mantuve tranquilo.
I stayed calm. I stayed calm. I didn't panic. I didn't panic.
No me puse nervioso.
I didn't panic. I didn't panic. I kept working. I kept working.
Seguí trabajando.
I kept working. I kept working. I finished on time. I finished on time.
Terminé a tiempo.
I finished on time. I finished on time. I checked my work. I checked my work.
Revisé mi trabajo.
I checked my work. I checked my work. I didn't leave anything blank. I didn't leave anything blank.
No dejé nada en blanco.
I didn't leave anything blank. I didn't leave anything blank. I reviewed my answers. I reviewed my answers.
Revisé mis respuestas.
I reviewed my answers. I reviewed my answers. I handed in the paper. I handed in the paper.
Entregué el examen.
I handed in the paper. I handed in the paper. I said thank you. I said thank you.
Di las gracias.
I said thank you. I said thank you. I left the room. I left the room.
Salí del aula.
I left the room. I left the room. I took a deep breath. I took a deep breath.
Respiré hondo.
I took a deep breath. I took a deep breath. I felt relieved. I felt relieved.
Me sentí aliviado.
I felt relieved. I felt relieved. I talked with my friends. I talked with my friends.
Hablé con mis amigos.
I talked with my friends. I talked with my friends. We discussed the questions. We discussed the questions.
Comentamos las preguntas.
We discussed the questions. We discussed the questions. Some answers were tricky. Some answers were tricky.
Algunas respuestas eran difíciles.
Some answers were tricky. Some answers were tricky. Some were easy. Some were easy.
Otras eran fáciles.
Some were easy. Some were easy. I think I did well. I think I did well.
Creo que me fue bien.
I think I did well. I think I did well. I hope I passed. I hope I passed.
Espero haber aprobado.
I hope I passed. I hope I passed. I will know the results soon. I will know the results soon.
Sabré los resultados pronto.
I will know the results soon. I will know the results soon. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over.
Me alegro de que haya terminado.
I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over. I'm going to relax now. I'm going to relax now.
Ahora voy a relajarme.
I'm going to relax now. I'm going to relax now. I will take a nap. I will take a nap.
Voy a echarme una siesta.
I will take a nap. I will take a nap. I need some rest. I need some rest.
Necesito descansar.
I need some rest. I need some rest. I might watch a movie. I might watch a movie.
Quizás vea una película.
I might watch a movie. I might watch a movie. I will eat something good. I will eat something good.
Voy a comer algo rico.
I will eat something good. I will eat something good. I will reward myself. I will reward myself.
Me voy a dar un premio.
I will reward myself. I will reward myself. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day.
Mañana será otro día.
Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
Aprendí mucho.
I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I will do better next time. I will do better next time.
Lo haré mejor la próxima vez.
I will do better next time. I will do better next time. I forgot one answer. I forgot one answer.
Olvidé una respuesta.
I forgot one answer. I forgot one answer. I remembered it too late. I remembered it too late.
La recordé demasiado tarde.
I remembered it too late. I remembered it too late. I made one mistake. I made one mistake.
Cometí un error.
I made one mistake. I made one mistake. I did my best. I did my best.
Hice lo mejor que pude.
I did my best. I did my best. I studied hard. I studied hard.
Estudié mucho.
I studied hard. I studied hard. I prepared for this. I prepared for this.
Me preparé para esto.
I prepared for this. I prepared for this. I practiced many questions. I practiced many questions.
Practiqué muchas preguntas.
I practiced many questions. I practiced many questions. My teacher helped me. My teacher helped me.
Mi profesor me ayudó.
My teacher helped me. My teacher helped me. My parents encouraged me. My parents encouraged me.
Mis padres me animaron.
My parents encouraged me. My parents encouraged me. I stayed focused. I stayed focused.
Me mantuve concentrado.
I stayed focused. I stayed focused. The room was quiet. The room was quiet.
El aula estaba en silencio.
The room was quiet. The room was quiet. The clock was ticking. The clock was ticking.
El reloj hacía tic-tac.
The clock was ticking. The clock was ticking. I could hear pencils writing. I could hear pencils writing.
Podía oír los lápices escribiendo.
I could hear pencils writing. I could hear pencils writing. The teacher watched us. The teacher watched us.
El profesor nos observaba.
The teacher watched us. The teacher watched us. She walked around. She walked around.
Ella caminaba por el aula.
She walked around. She walked around. He answered a question. He answered a question.
Él respondió una pregunta.
He answered a question. He answered a question. Some students finished early. Some students finished early.
Algunos alumnos terminaron pronto.
Some students finished early. Some students finished early. Some needed more time. Some needed more time.
Algunos necesitaron más tiempo.
Some needed more time. Some needed more time. I used all my time. I used all my time.
Usé todo mi tiempo.
I used all my time. I used all my time. I felt confident. I felt confident.
Me sentí seguro.
I felt confident. I felt confident. I felt unsure sometimes. I felt unsure sometimes.
A veces me sentí inseguro.
I felt unsure sometimes. I felt unsure sometimes. I kept trying. I kept trying.
Seguí intentándolo.
I kept trying. I kept trying. I didn't give up. I didn't give up.
No me rendí.
I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I remembered my notes. I remembered my notes.
Recordé mis apuntes.
I remembered my notes. I remembered my notes. I remembered my lessons. I remembered my lessons.
Recordé mis lecciones.
I remembered my lessons. I remembered my lessons. I tried to stay positive. I tried to stay positive.
Intenté mantenerme positivo.
I tried to stay positive. I tried to stay positive. I smiled after the exam. I smiled after the exam.
Sonreí después del examen.
I smiled after the exam. I smiled after the exam. I talked about the answers. I talked about the answers.
Hablé sobre las respuestas.
I talked about the answers. I talked about the answers. We laughed about one question. We laughed about one question.
Nos reímos de una pregunta.
We laughed about one question. We laughed about one question. We planned to study more. We planned to study more.
Planeamos estudiar más.
We planned to study more. We planned to study more. I will do better next time. I will do better next time.
Lo haré mejor la próxima vez.
I will do better next time. I will do better next time. I learned from this. I learned from this.
Aprendí de esto.
I learned from this. I learned from this. I improved a lot. I improved a lot.
Mejoré mucho.
I improved a lot. I improved a lot. The exam was important. The exam was important.
El examen era importante.
The exam was important. The exam was important. It was part of my grade. It was part of my grade.
Era parte de mi nota.
It was part of my grade. It was part of my grade. It was a final exam. It was a final exam.
Era un examen final.
It was a final exam. It was a final exam. It was a midterm test. It was a midterm test.
Era un examen parcial.
It was a midterm test. It was a midterm test. It was a math test. It was a math test.
Era un examen de matemáticas.
It was a math test. It was a math test. It was a science exam. It was a science exam.
Era un examen de ciencias.
It was a science exam. It was a science exam. It was a language test. It was a language test.
Era un examen de lengua.
It was a language test. It was a language test. It was multiple choice. It was multiple choice.
Era de opción múltiple.
It was multiple choice. It was multiple choice. It had short answers. It had short answers.
Tenía respuestas cortas.
It had short answers. It had short answers. It had essay questions. It had essay questions.
Tenía preguntas de desarrollo.
It had essay questions. It had essay questions. I wrote a long answer. I wrote a long answer.
Escribí una respuesta larga.
I wrote a long answer. I wrote a long answer. I used good grammar. I used good grammar.
Usé buena gramática.
I used good grammar. I used good grammar. I tried to spell correctly. I tried to spell correctly.
Intenté escribir sin faltas.
I tried to spell correctly. I tried to spell correctly. I used full sentences. I used full sentences.
Usé frases completas.
I used full sentences. I used full sentences. I showed my work. I showed my work.
Mostré mi trabajo.
I showed my work. I showed my work. I followed the instructions. I followed the instructions.
Seguí las instrucciones.
I followed the instructions. I followed the instructions. I answered all questions. I answered all questions.
Respondí todas las preguntas.
I answered all questions. I answered all questions. I used logic. I used logic.
Usé la lógica.
I used logic. I used logic. I made a guess. I made a guess.
Hice una suposición.
I made a guess. I made a guess. I was careful. I was careful.
Fui cuidadoso.
I was careful. I was careful. I didn't rush. I didn't rush.
No me apresuré.
I didn't rush. I didn't rush. I asked for another paper. I asked for another paper.
Pedí otra hoja.
I asked for another paper. I asked for another paper. I drank some water. I drank some water.
Bebí un poco de agua.
I drank some water. I drank some water. I stretched my hands. I stretched my hands.
Estiré las manos.
I stretched my hands. I stretched my hands.
Gracias por ver. Suscríbete a nuestro canal y activa las notificaciones para obtener nuevos vídeos a tiempo y continuar tu viaje de aprendizaje de inglés.